Welcome to another installment of This Is Not Normal on the Political Drain podcast with Drill Sergeant Doug, aka Admin Doug, a U.S. Army veteran, teacher, musician, and family man from Jamaica, now fights for justice and democracy through commentary and humor. Follow him on YouTube at Political Drain and at Sons of Liberty Official as Drill Sergeant, aka Admin Doug, continues to protect our freedoms.
So YouTube, it looks like today the 300-pound orange orangutan, the tangerine tornado tyrant, the taco tits McCankles himself is going to be talking about unleashing the National Guard on Washington, D.C. All because of some ridiculous guy named Big Balls getting beat up by 14-year-olds because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, or was it that? I got another story about why we don't believe that. But this vid is just going to be about context you need to know before watching this kitty diddler talk crap for however many hours he decides to ramble on in front of the White House today. What's up, YouTube? Drill Sergeant here. And this one may be short, but might be the most important thing you hear or see today, including the words out the tangerine tornado tyrant's mouth. You see, we have correspondents all over the world, and I've just gotten news in from them. So even though Monday is going to be the big splash when he talks about how he's going to rain terror on Washington, D.C., or whatever the last person who spoke to him tells him to do, because I don't believe those rumors anymore. I don't get worried about when he's going to make an announcement. It could just as easily be his lunch menu for the next few days, because he doesn't know what he's doing and he doesn't believe anything he's saying. He only repeats whatever the last person told him. So wait to be worried about what he's going to do in Washington till you hear him actually say it, and then even then, wait before you get worried about it. On the other hand, do know that it's always a distraction. That's all it ever is. He doesn't have a plan. He's not being president. The real president is Stephen Miller, the Heritage Foundation, and all the rest of the white supremacists who wrote the Project 2025 that he's following to a T. Whatever happens today is going to be a distraction. Watch it, be prepared, but it's going to be a distraction. Thanks to our correspondents from around the world, I can tell you what the distraction is for. Number one, you do know on Friday, our real president, Putin, is coming to Alaska, which he believes is his. And I've been sitting on some news. I've been sitting on the fact that it seems like what's going on in Russia and their war is really bad, like really bad for them. They're losing a lot. They're dying down, and they're looking for ways to gain any footing they can. And they see a weak, fat, yellowish, orangish clown in charge of the richest country in the world, and Alaska that they bought for like $50 from Russia. Yeah, we did. Is where Donald Trump chooses to bring this guy in. Why is that a problem? Let me read something to you. According to one of our correspondents, in Russian schools since 1990, students are taught that the original deal was not the sale of Alaska to the USA, but only a 100-year term limit, and must now be taken back by Russia. Yeah, that's why Putin, our president Vladimir Putin, decides to meet in Russia, and his stooge orange clown says, "Yes, massa, how high?" That's what they're going there for. This peace with Ukraine is not happening because, number one, this stupid idiot decided to yell out the terms before getting there, and already knowing that the terms that he yelled out are not even a starter with Ukraine. They want to get more land. You give me more of your land and then we'll have peace. That's what he says out loud. But more importantly, why are they going to Alaska to meet? Why are they there? Well, you see, when you're doing really bad in a war that's killing a lot of people in your country, and you're conscribing them from all over the place, Soldiers getting younger and younger, getting drafted left and right, and not coming back home. You use something just like this. We're going to get Alaska back after our 100-year deal. That's what they've been learning. We know it's bull. That doesn't matter. This is how authoritarians work. Just like today, our authoritarian faux leader is going to be doing the exact same thing to his base because he doesn't want you to know or think about on Friday what's really going down with his leader. Why is that even more important than just what I told you right now? Just Putin trying to look good to his people, giving them some red meat to think about, something to hope for while their children aren't coming home from a war that they're losing? Well, because it also says here from our EU correspondent, members of the EU have decided to travel or be represented in the Alaska meeting this Friday. Because the U.S. emissary got totally rolled by Putin during the last meeting, they all decided that they're just going to show up to this one so that somebody can put a leash on our dog. And he had only a Soviet translator present at the last meeting with no foreign diplomatic department U.S. translators present. So no one really knows what was said. Not even Trump. What a fool, moron, idiot. The last person he sent over there to talk came back and said, well, he said that he would have peace if you, and he was going to give up these pieces of land. And what he really said was, we want these pieces of land before we get peace. How dumb are we? Do not be distracted today. No matter what is said, put it under this context. It's distraction. It's distraction. According to the EU, they're bringing people on Friday because they don't trust a word that either one of them are saying. According to people in Russia, they think he's coming here to get Alaska back. Maybe start a new fake war or a real one. I have more. U.S. and British troops entering Poland from Lithuania on exercises in emergency situations, YouTube. Yeah. There's menaces from Russian threats to the EU right now. French troops have been training in the Baltic nations now for some time, and they're heading to Poland as well. I'll say it again. Russian kids have been learning since 1990 that Alaska is going to be theirs because they only loaned it for 100 years. EU is sending diplomats and representation to the meeting happening in Alaska, where they're supposed to be talking about peace, when the last time they didn't even have a translator tell them what he was saying. And in the meantime, British troops and U.S. troops are entering Poland from Lithuania on exercises in emergency situations because Russia has been menacing the EU, and we're guessing especially Poland. French troops have been training in the Baltic nation now for some time, and they're heading to Poland as well. As the distraction rolls out, as our authoritarian clown proceeds to do what they do by pretending to have strength where they have none, skirting laws wherever they can get away with it, and filling you full of fear so you are traumatized and paralyzed to do nothing. I thought the context would be good for you to know. September 2nd, September 1st and September 2nd. But September 2nd is when the Congress comes back. Sons of Liberty will be there. There will be hopefully many other groups, but I know of a few. Cliff Cash, wearetheflood.com. They'll be there. There will be people from FlareUSA.org will be there. Thousands of people will be there. And they're going inside of the Capitol. They're going inside of these people's offices with pictures of Epstein to remind them that we have not forgotten. And it just so happens that Big Balls is assaulted. This gives them a reason to bring the National Guard if that's what he does today. Well, if it is, I'm not scared. I wasn't supposed to be going. The groups that are going, I'm supposed to be running dispatch and crisis response units. But if that is the decision that he makes, maybe I'll have someone take my place. I'm not sure what's going to happen. But our groups are not scared. You are not scared. We will not obey in advance. We know what's happening Friday, and we know that whatever is happening Friday is going to be as close to illegal as possible, if not over the line. Thank goodness we have you EU representation coming, because they also know that. And this distraction will not stop us from coordinating exactly what we planned to coordinate yesterday and the day before. Whatever he says today, remember what I told you from our correspondents from around the world. Russia is very willing to promote the idea of claiming ownership of Alaska, and we found the right dumbass to give it to him. Nah, I'm not distracted. Neither are you. This is just a context update before you watch this idiot speak today, to understand why he's doing it. Has nothing to do with big balls. And we got that story coming up soon as to why nobody believes that was a random occurrence. No matter what he says today, tomorrow we fight. Hey, yeah, you. Before you click away to watch someone unbox a tactical toothbrush, let's talk about something real. Political Drain isn't just another content mill. We're a digital front in a very real war. Not with bullets, but with ideas, with action, and with solidarity. We pair urgent news with critical education. And we build community around actual resistance, not the hashtag kind. The kind that moves. But here's the thing. None of this is free. It isn't. Behind every video is time, labor, research, and some weird guy asking if we're going to pay the hosting bill. And yeah, some of that money goes to things we can't necessarily say out loud. If you know, you know. Let's just say our special ops aren't Call of Duty LARPers. They're people making real moves to protect, uplift, and organize. You're not just funding a channel. You're funding a resistance network in a world where capital still calls the shots. Unfortunately, in a system built on artificial scarcity, even mutual aid has a price tag. And if we want to grow, if we want to win, we need your help. We need your help. So if you've got even a few bucks to spare, toss it our way. It's not for ads. It's not for merch drops, but for people making moves in the shadows so others can do it in the light. It's just us and you. So fund the mission, fund the fight, fund the future, because nobody's coming to save us. We save each other. That's how this works. Follow us on all these things you see here, and our link tree is in the description. Maybe even get some merch.
That was the Political Drain podcast, which can be heard on www.groovechillradio.com/political-drain and can be viewed on the Political Drain YouTube channel anytime. Once again, thank you for listening to Groove Chill as we resist fascism in any form, pursue democracy, peace, and love.